You are not supposed to defeat Emu. Not now, not later, not at the end. And the moment you understand why, One Piece stops being a normal story. Because Emu is not a final boss. Emu is not a fighter. Emu is not even a character in the traditional sense. Emu is a system. And systems don't get punched. They don't lose fights. They collapse. Let me ask you something. Why do the Five Gorosei all share one thing that no other group in One Piece does? Not their age, not their authority, not even their power. Their names. Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury. Those are not titles. Those are planets. And Oda does not name things randomly. Planets don't rule. Planets don't decide. Planets orbit. They exist inside a system, and every system has a center. That center is Emu. The Gorosei are not kings. They are not gods. They are functions. Each one governs a specific aspect of existence, not because they want to, but because the system demands it, just like planets. Saturn, the closest planet to the center. Poison, experimentation, sacrifice. He doesn't rule people. He decides what is allowed to exist. Mars, war, pressure, suppression. He doesn't maintain peace. He enforces order through fear. Jupiter, mass, authority, judgment. He doesn't ask what's right. He declares what becomes law. Venus, deception, beauty, false balance. He doesn't protect the world. He makes control look necessary. And Mercury, the fastest orbit, the executioner. He doesn't question, he acts. 5 planets, 5 functions, 1 system. And none of them are free. Because planets do not choose their path. They move where gravity allows them to. And gravity comes from one thing, a black hole. Emu is not light. Emu is not warmth. Emu is not creation. Emu is pure gravity. A black hole doesn't shine. It doesn't explain. It doesn't fight. It pulls. Power bends toward it. History bends toward it. Names bend toward it. Even light cannot escape it. And suddenly, the Void Century makes sense. The Void Century wasn't just erased history. It was light that was swallowed. Joy Boy wasn't defeated in battle. He was removed from the system. His name, his story, his existence pulled into Emu's gravity. That's why Emu doesn't rule openly. That's why Emu doesn't appear to the world. Black holes don't need to be seen to control everything. The world didn't forget Joy Boy by accident. It was forced to forget. And now comes the most important question. If Emu is the black hole, what is Luffy? Luffy is not a planet. He does not orbit. He does not obey. Luffy is the sun. Nika, the sun god. Not metaphorically, systemically. A sun does not control by pulling. It gives energy. It creates movement. It allows life. Planets need a sun to survive. Without it, they freeze, they stagnate, they die. And what has the One Piece world been for 800 years? Frozen, static, unchanging. Because the sun was removed. Emu didn't just defeat Joy Boy. Emu replaced the sun with a black hole. And that's why Gear 5 feels wrong. That's why it's goofy. That's why it laughs. That's why it ignores power scaling. Because light does not respect gravity. Luffy doesn't overpower enemies. He invalidates control. But here's the twist. A sun cannot destroy a black hole. It can only exist beside it. Until the system breaks. And that's where Blackbeard enters the story. The Yami Yami no Mi is not darkness. It doesn't behave like shadows. It doesn't behave like night. It behaves like gravity. It pulls everything in. It negates power. It collapses logic. Blackbeard didn't eat darkness. He ate a man-made black hole. And now the system has a problem, because you cannot have two gravitational centers in one universe. When two black holes exist, the system collapses. Space bends, time breaks, order disappears. Blackbeard is not Emu's opposite. He is Emu's error. That's why his body is wrong. That's why he can hold multiple fruits. That's why he doesn't sleep. He is unstable. Emu does not fear Luffy. Emu fears collision. The final war will not be fists. It will not be power scaling. It will be a system failure. The Gorosei will fall not because they are weak, but because their orbits break. When the sun returns, planets don't disappear. They change direction. Emu will not be defeated. Emu will become irrelevant. The black hole collapses. The sun rises again. The world moves. And that is the true end of One Piece. So now tell me, is Blackbeard the key to breaking Emu's system, or the final disaster that destroys it? Drop your theory below, because this is Endgame. Blackbeard was never meant to exist. Not as a pirate, not as a Yonko, not as a man. He is a system error. Everything about Blackbeard is wrong. He doesn't sleep. His body feels unnatural. His pain is amplified. And yet, he can do what no one else can. He holds multiple devil fruits. That should be impossible, because devil fruits are built for one system, one body, one orbit. But Blackbeard does not orbit. The Yami Yami no Mi doesn't behave like darkness. Darkness hides. Blackbeard's power pulls. Cities collapse toward him. Abilities get dragged out of others. Even Logia powers lose their nature. That's not darkness. That's gravity. Blackbeard didn't eat a fruit of night. He ate a fruit that mimics a black hole. And now think about what that means. If Emu is the original singularity, then Blackbeard is a second one. Unstable, artificial, uncontrolled. Two black holes cannot exist in the same system. In physics, when they collide, space collapses, time distorts, everything breaks. That is not a battle. That is an extinction-level event. Blackbeard is not meant to defeat Emu. He is meant to break the system that keeps Emu alive. And Luffy? Luffy is not the destroyer. Luffy is the replacement. Blackbeard collapses the old gravity. Luffy becomes the new sun. That's why the story needs all three: the black hole, the error, and the sun.